Also, I'd like to state up front that appropriate authorities have been notified. This information is in their hand to include a lot more than what we can talk about here, because sources and methods are something that we protect. Now, also understand that both Bazzel Baz and myself are not connected to anything the government at this point, but we do still have friends inside, and we do still negotiate. We still speak with. We still share information pretty much weekly for us here in Texas with local law enforcement all the way up to state level. This one jumped way above. This one jumped way above that one, and I'm just going to give you the situation report up front, and then we can go into the discussion point, and I'll have my colleague jump in there as well. So on the evening of the 22nd of September, that would be Sunday, we got two separate reporting streams that came through, and then one of these came from Baz's side, and I'll let him explain that one. But which those reporting streams were not connected to each other. This is important to understand when we're looking at information that comes to us. We want to make sure that what's the validity, the veracity of the information that we're getting. These were not connected. Both of these reporting streams had access of placement to information, which then corroborated once we all started talking and saying, what's going on here? And this one particular one from our side was a confidential informant that we have that works on the border. We do get information from here down in Texas all the way over to San Ysidro, California. So this one came out of the New Mexico area of operations. It's not our particular locale, but the informant was working that location, and has the ability to access and place himself into nefarious networks on the border. So when he intercepted this information that, and this is, bottom line up front, that 9 surface to air missiles of possible Iranian origin, we don't know, I don't have hands on, but surface to air missiles have crossed into the United States at a New Mexico point of entry. Now that's going to lead us to a lot of supposition here, but we have to understand that this information was too specific not to take notice and to disseminate it. We operate on the find, fix, and finish, analyze, exploit, or expose, and then analyze these things and to disseminate. That's what we do, F3EAD. It appears that, based upon this reporting, that the identified target is the former president Trump's plane, his airplane. And this is why it reached to the highest levels of anything that we've touched down here. Typically, we're looking at, chasing down narco terrorists or, trying to pull kids out of bad places. This one went way above and beyond. The presence, and this is the other corroboration, that there is a presence of 3, not 1, not 2, but 3 three-man teams within the country who were to receive said cargo. Is it in their hands? It's unknown at this time to me. Okay. But with regard to this ordinance, and this is important to understand when you're talking about a technique or tactic or practice of the enemy that is inside this country, the 3 teams that we're talking about. The suspected type of surface to air missile has a range of up to 5 kilometers with a maximum flight height of 4,000 feet. And its speed can reach up to 850 miles per hour. That's over Mach 2 point something, almost Mach 3, with a 1.4 kilogram HE, high explosive warhead. So these are looking at planes that are flying low and slow or on a takeoff or a landing. All right, so that's where we would see this type of attack being taken place. I've worked with surface to air missile before, so has Baz, and we understand that this is not for something to fly up in the stratosphere. This is for something on low and slow, helicopter, or something that is just taking off or on approach. More concerning about this particular ordinance is that the sophistication of its laser targeting system. It has a 360-degree arc on it, which is it's heat seeking. Okay, but it is infrared and it's heat seeking. The time from what we call march to firing is about 10 seconds. That means a dude takes it out of a car, takes it out of a pack. He's got 10 seconds to set it up and fire this thing off. Could easily reach anything that's on approach or on takeoff. So that kind of tells you what it is. Now, here's our analytic considerations. To get 9 surface to air missiles across the United States border at a point of entry would require some insider help. There's no way that you're coming across with this type of ordinance at a point of entry, and this was in New Mexico. The specifics are still being held. We talked to our law enforcement and friends and said we'll hang on to some of the information because they're investigating. The only organization that we know of this kind in that area of operations is the Sinaloa Cartel. There's a lot of things going on there. I'm going to suggest that if you look a little history on that, I'm not going to go into it a lot here, but we've got a lot of stuff going with Guzman, this guy that's being held in the country, extradition, things like that. There are potentials for other things that we're going to talk about here in a little bit. But our analysis indicates that we cannot rule out assistance or direction from upper level management. And that goes all the way to our intelligence community and the Department of Justice. I don't have that. I don't have the specifics on that, but I do know that that is being investigated. Since the right answer for them, for us, we this is a happenstance finding, but these are things that we cannot hide. We cannot keep to ourselves. For them, their duty is to find, fix, and finish, expose, analyze, and disseminate this type of information. This is time sensitive. It cannot be mulled over any longer. Baz and myself and our team all woke up every morning now going, we can't let this happen on our watch. It doesn't matter the risk. We're willing to take the risk. We're willing to take the hard hits because this kind of stuff, this is like the kid with his finger in the dike. This is the type of stuff. This is a wake up criteria, we call it. Boss, you got to know. Understand this. The 45 team, the Trump team knows about this. He tweeted about it. It's already been out on open source intelligence. That being, another medium that came out. It was on, let's see, Health Ranger. He put out some information on this. So people are getting the information. It always leaks. And Bazzel corroborate this. It always leaks. Not from us, but from other places.